Have you ever felt like your mind was caught in a storm, with thoughts swirling so wildly you could barely breathe? Have you ever tried to silence your worries, only to have them scream louder inside your head? Or chased peace so desperately that the very act of chasing made it disappear? We live in a world of noise, constant notifications, endless comparisons, and the invisible pressure to always do more. In this race to control everything, we often lose the one thing that truly matters, our inner calm. Peace begins to feel like a luxury, a distant dream, when in truth, it's the very ground beneath our feet. We've simply forgotten how to stand still long enough to feel it. But what if peace was never about fighting your thoughts, and more about changing the way you see them? What if the secret to calm wasn't in force, but in flow? In a quiet monastery hidden deep among snow-tipped peaks and whispering pines, lived a young monk named Ryo. Ryo was devoted and sincere, rising before dawn, meditating by candlelight, and working tirelessly to calm his restless mind. Yet, no matter how much he tried, his thoughts refused to obey. They scattered like birds startled by thunder, memories, regrets, fears, desires all flapping at once inside his head. He watched his master, a gentle old monk whose calm radiated like sunlight through still water, and felt a deep longing. Why can't my mind be like his? He wondered. Why do I feel so lost even in silence? One evening, as the sun melted behind the mountains, Ryo approached his master with heavy eyes. "Master," he said quietly, "I have tried everything, meditation, chanting, discipline, but the harder I try to still my mind, the louder it becomes. Please, teach me how to find peace." The master listened without interrupting. His gaze was kind, his voice low like wind through bamboo. "I will help you, my son," he said, "but first, come with me to the garden." They walked together under the fading light until they reached a small patch of earth. There, entwined around a bamboo post, was a vine that had grown in a tight, suffocating knot around itself. Its leaves were withered, its growth stunted, its beauty hidden by its own entanglement. "Untangle this vine," said the master. At first, Ryo smiled. It seemed simple enough. He knelt and began to pull the vine apart, but the more he tugged, the tighter the knot became. The delicate stems snapped in his hands. Sweat formed on his forehead. He tried again and again, slower this time, gentler, but every move seemed to make things worse. Frustrated, he finally sat back with a sigh. "Master," he said, "no matter what I do, it only becomes more tangled. It's impossible." The master nodded, his face calm. "You cannot free it by force," he said. Then he knelt beside Ryo and began to loosen the soil around the base of the plant. Carefully, almost tenderly, he guided one of the vine's outer tendrils toward a nearby bamboo stake, giving it new space, a new direction. Days passed. The young monk watched as the vine, no longer forced or pulled, began to untangle itself naturally. Its leaves grew green again. Its stems stretched upward, reaching for the sun. The master smiled. "You see, Ryo," he said softly, "sometimes the only way to solve a problem is not to fight it, but to create the right conditions for it to solve itself." That night, Ryo could not sleep. The image of the vine lingered in his mind, how it had freed itself, not through effort, but through patience and guidance. He realized that his own mind was that vine, tangled by worry, strangled by overthinking, and suffocated by his desperate need for control. From that day forward, he changed his practice. Instead of forcing stillness, he began to invite it. Instead of trying to silence his thoughts, he learned to listen to them, to watch them drift by like clouds without chasing or judging. Each morning he would sit beneath the pines and focus on his breath. Just one breath. Inhale, the world enters. Exhale, the world leaves. At first his thoughts still danced and wandered, but he stopped resisting. He let them flow like water over smooth stones. And slowly, day by day, the storm began to quiet. The deeper wisdom here is that our minds are not enemies to be conquered. They are gardens, living, breathing spaces that need care, not control. When we fight our thoughts, we tighten their grip, but when we offer them compassion, when we give them space and a gentle anchor, a breath, a sound, a simple act of awareness, they begin to loosen and heal. True peace is not the absence of thought, but the freedom from being ruled by them. It is learning to rest in the quiet space beneath the noise, the stillness that has always been there. Just like the vine, your mind knows how to find its way toward the light, if only you stop pulling and give it time to grow. So the next time your mind feels tangled in fear or anxiety, don't command it to stop. Don't fight the storm. Instead, whisper gently to yourself, "Let me take one calm breath. Let me take one kind step." You'll be amazed at how the knot begins to loosen on its own. The path to peace is not found through struggle, it's found through surrender. through patience, compassion, and faith in the natural rhythm of your mind. You don't need to control the storm, you only need to learn how to stand calmly in the rain. So ask yourself, what mental knot are you trying to untangle by force? What gentle path could you offer it instead? Be gentle with your mind, be patient with your journey, and trust that peace, like sunlight, will find you when you stop chasing it. If this story touched your heart, share it with someone who might need a reminder to slow down and breathe. And if you'd like to hear more timeless Zen stories that bring ancient wisdom into our modern lives, subscribe and let's walk this path toward .com together.